Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So last night a new Teen Mom series premiered. It's called Teen Mom The Reunion, and this one was actually titled Mother of All Reunions. So the concept behind it was to get a bunch of the cast members from Teen Mom OG, Teen Mom 2, and they were even going to try to shoot for some of the Teen Mom YMP girls, bring them all together so they can kind of hash out their drama with each other, because yes, some of them have drama with each other, and also provide therapy for them for trauma that they have within themselves from things that they've had to deal with growing up, parents that were addicts, or them overcoming addiction themselves, things such as that. So that was the idea behind it. As the show starts, Macy and Cheyenne, they tell us basically that it was their idea, that they came up with the idea to get everyone together so everyone could get to know each other and so they could work on their problems. Really quick, let me throw this out there. You guys may hear my daughter in the background. If you do, I apologize. She's up front playing with her dad. So to continue, Macy, she's kind of narrating the beginning of the show, just saying that her and Cheyenne came up with the idea, and they wanted everyone to show up, no kids, that their family members kept their children, and they wanted to get off the couch, get over the drama, and work on themselves. So they said that they told the producers, invite everyone. So they're like, we don't know if they invited Farrah. We don't know if they invited Janelle. We did tell them to invite everyone, so it's a possibility. When it starts, Macy and Cheyenne, they are the first two to arrive at the resort, and they are kind of decorating and everything. They're talking about the concept of the show and how they're excited for everyone to come. Gary and Amber, they're on their way to the resort, and in the truck, Gary asks Amber if she's going to behave. He's like, are you going to behave, or are you going to say anything or get rude to anyone? And Amber tells him that if anybody pops off, she's probably going to say something. They arrive at the resort. They go up to their own room. When everyone gets there, they don't meet up right then. They go to their own rooms, or they hang out with the person that they arrived with until later that night. So later that night, they're going to have like a little mixer where everyone finally gets together and everyone can see who came. So after Amber and Gary arrive, we see that Briana and Brittany and Jade and one of Jade's friends has also arrived as well. They're sitting beside the pool, and they're talking about how they kind of need this little vacation. Briana's like, with work and with raising my two daughters, I'm just like worn out, and I just want to focus on Briana. I'm 27 years old and I still have no direction in my life. I don't know who Briana is, and I need to figure it out. So I'm glad that we can be here at this vacation. And I'm like, I bet Jade understands it all too well, because Jade doesn't have like a mom who helps her. Jade doesn't have a sister who helps her. And Jade also has a real job outside of MTV that she gets up and she goes to every day. And Jade's boyfriend, her on again, off again boyfriend, he's had a lot of problems. He's struggled with addiction. So Jade, I'm sure she's like, girl, I feel you. I need this vacation as well. Jade did not bring her boyfriend, Sean, because he is actually in rehab at the time that they filmed this. He had been there for about a month and a half, and he had 2 months left. So instead, she brought her best friend. They do talk about how they both have problems with Ashley, and they're kind of unsure of how things are going to play out with Ashley. They're like, listen, we came here to have a good time, but we do have problems with Ashley, and we really don't know how that's going to go. Then we get to see Ashley. She and Bar, they are in their hotel room, and they're talking about how they're excited about this. Ashley says that she doesn't want any drama, that she knows that she has problems with some of the cast members, but it's not that big of a deal to her. She's like, I'm good, I'm cool. We've had issues, but I'm over it, and I will apologize to them. If they call me out on it, I'm going to apologize to them. Because I don't want any drama. She's like, I'm leaving my kid at home to go to this little vacation thing, and I just want to have fun. I don't want any drama. So if they need me to apologize, or if they still feel some type of way, I absolutely will apologize. She also said that she's had like a really tough year, that her and Bar have really been struggling. So she just wants to go and it be drama free and have a good time. So Macy and Cheyenne, they go and they're decorating for the mixer, and there's this little table set up where there's different pictures from the earlier days with the cast members. There's one picture of the girls with Farrah. There's also pictures of them with Janelle. Cheyenne, kind of jokingly, she tells Macy, she's like, I know you miss Farrah. And Macy sarcastically says back, yeah, I miss her. Then in a confessional, Macy says that they did tell the producers to invite everyone, that she's unsure if they invited Farrah, and she can't say she would be really excited to see her, but they did tell the producers to invite everyone, so she would not be shocked if Farrah did show up. So, as they're waiting for everyone to arrive, Cheyenne and Zach, they're sitting there, they're talking to Macy, they're questioning, who's going to come through first, who all is going to be there, and as they're talking, Amber and Gary, they walk in first. Macy in a confessional says that she's really happy that Amber is there because Amber has a lot of life experiences that she can share with some of the other cast members. Amber says that this was a Teen Mom OG project, and she felt that Gary deserved to be there just as much as she deserved to be there, so she invited Gary, which I felt is absolutely, yes, anytime there's anything Teen Mom related, Gary should be there. So after Amber and Gary show up, Leah shows up. After Leah shows up, Ashley and Bar, they show up. Ashley and Cheyenne immediately take to each other. Right after they show up, Ashley, she's like, I need a drink. Let's take some shots. And Cheyenne's like, I'm loving this girl's vibe. I like her already. So they get them a drink. They sit down, and Cheyenne immediately notices that Ashley's engagement ring is not there. Now, there was another show that premiered last night as well, and it's called Teen Mom Girls Night Off. I think that Girls Night Out, maybe? And it's kind of like a 90 Day Fiancé pillow talk type of situation. It's where some cast members watch last season of the show. So, Cheyenne and Zach actually watched Bar propose to Ashley in last night's episode of Teen Mom Girls Night Out. So that's what she's like, the last time I've seen anything from Ashley or Bar, I was watching an episode where Bar proposed to Ashley, so why is Ashley not wearing her ring? So she questions Ashley. She's like, girl, where's your ring? What happened? Last time I was watching you, you guys were getting engaged. And Ashley drops a bomb and tells Cheyenne that not only did they get engaged, but they got married. That her and Bar had been married for about 5 months. However, they're not together, that they're kind of taking a break right now because they've been struggling. And she explains to Cheyenne that they got engaged and got married while Bar had the ankle monitor because he was on the straight and narrow. He was doing good. He was wanting to go to school. He was getting his GED. He was doing all these great things. But then once the ankle monitor came off, he just calm down and just become content with doing nothing again. And Ashley's like, that's not what I want. I want a man that's gonna have drive. I want a man that's gonna hustle and get out there to work and provide for my family. She's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna work. And I want a man that's equally as driven as I am. She's like, I don't care if he wants to take care of chickens. You better be serious about the chickens. And Bar wasn't serious about anything. So right now we're split up, but I'm hoping that while we're at this reunion type situation that we can work on our problems. Cheyenne tells Ashley, she's like, you've really matured. Through watching on the show and talking to you here, I feel like you've really matured. And don't sell yourself short. If you know that this person isn't giving you all that you need, it's time to move along. She's like, nothing against Bar, but I'm just saying. She then asked Ashley, she's like, is there anyone that you have problems with or that I got to worry about if they show up that there's going to be some issues? And Ashley tells her no. She's like, I do have problems. I've had problems with Jade in the past. I've had problems with Briana in the past, but it shouldn't be any issue here. She's like, I'm good. I can be cordial. I'm not going to start any problems. I'm not going to fight. It should be good. And Cheyenne's like, great. I'm glad that even though you guys have problems, you're telling me that it shouldn't be a problem here. And Ashley's like, correct. We should be fine. At that point, Jade and her friend and Brittany and Briana, they show up. And when they show up, everyone that's already there, they kind of meet them and they're all hugging and they're all saying, hey. But Ashley's sitting over here and not saying hey to them and them not saying hey to her. So she gets up and she goes over to the bar, orders herself another drink as everyone is welcoming Jade and Briana. A little bit into the episode, everyone is sitting around and talking. The girls are all sitting around and talking, including Jade, Briana, Brittany, and even Ashley. They're all sitting there talking. And Jade opens up to say that her boyfriend Sean is in rehab and that he's been gone for a month and a half. He has 2 months left. And it's really been a struggle for her because she's trying to make it make sense to her daughter. And her daughter has been angry at her over it, though. She's like, my daughter told me, Mommy, will you please apologize to Dad so he can come back home to us? Now, as Jade is saying this, the camera pans over to Ashley, and Ashley says, oh, and then she says, don't cry. She tells Jade, she says, don't cry. She then sits up and she says, listen, Jade, even though we've had our differences, I want to say that as a kid myself that didn't have a father, I hated my mom at first, but as I grew older, I understood that she was just trying to protect me. Basically, I felt like she was like extending the olive branch by letting her know, like, listen, you're doing the right thing. And your daughter may not understand it now, but she will. In time, she definitely will understand it. But as Ashley is talking to her, Jade looks pissed. Like, Jade is like not receptive to it at all. But keep in mind, it was just like months back that Ashley was on social media saying that she was going to beat Jade up. So I guess Jade is kind of confused. She's like, I don't know if she's being real right now, or I don't know if she's being fake. Jade, she felt like she was being fake. In a confessional, Jade did say, like, this is not the Ashley that I saw a couple months ago on social media. That girl wanted to whip my butt. Now this girl is trying to chit chat. So I think she's being fake. I feel like what she should have done maybe later on in the episode, later that night, pull her to the side and just get a feel for where she's at. Like, hey, listen, we've had our problems, but you've been cool tonight. So I'm kind of trying to figure out where we're at. And then even explain, like, I'm still bothered by the things that you said. And then Ashley would have apologized because Ashley already said that she had plans on apologizing. I really feel like Briana specifically went in there wanting to be messy. And she kind of played off Jade's feelings. Like, Jade was hurt later on the night when things really come to blows. Jade is like crying. And I feel like Briana knew how vulnerable Jade is right now with her baby daddy being gone, and everything that she's been going through. I feel like Briana may have taken advantage of the situation with Jade and Ashley because she doesn't like Ashley either. Anyways, let's continue. So at one point, though, the camera pans over to Macy and Cheyenne, and they're talking. And they both say that they sense some, hostility coming from Jade and Briana towards Ashley. And Macy's like, I wonder what the problem is anyways. And Cheyenne, I think she kind of explains it to Macy, like, that Jade and Briana, they don't like Ashley. They've had problems with Ashley. And then she says, when Jade and Briana walked in, they spoke to us, but they didn't speak to Ashley. So she's like, we got to keep an eye on the situation. So it pans back over to the girls sitting there having the conversation. And they're still talking about Jade's daughter not understanding the situation with her dad being gone. And Briana tells Jade, she's like, your daughter is young, so you can kind of manipulate the situation. You can tell her, your dad's sick right now. Your dad's at school right now. Your dad's at work right now. So she just doesn't understand exactly where he is. And Ashley, she sits up and she says, but as she gets older, she's probably going to question that, don't you think? Like, if you're telling her that her daddy's going to work or she's going to school, maybe she might question it. Like, do you think she's going to question it? And this seems to irritate Jade and Briana because they both get up and walk off. When they get up and walk off, Ashley's like, wow, really? Did they just walk off as we're sitting here trying to have a conversation? Like, I'm trying to talk to them and they just walked off. But yes, they did. Macy and Cheyenne, they get everyone's attention. They thank everyone for coming and they tell them they have a surprise. Now, they disappear for a little bit. They come back with a life coach whose name is also Cheyenne. This life coach explains to them that while they're there to have fun, that she knows that the cast members have a lot of trauma within themselves from different things, but they also have drama with other cast members, and that she wants to help them overcome the drama with the other cast members, as well as work on their trauma within themselves so they can really enjoy this little vacation. So she sends everyone's guests back to the hotel, like Gary, Zach, Jade's friend, Brittany, they all have to go back to the hotel. And the original like cast members, they stay there. She tells them they're going to do this game. It's an icebreaker, and it's called Scream Therapy, where you take something that you've kind of been holding on to and you scream it, you yell it, as a way to kind of like release it, let go of it. She tells the girls that this is a good way for them to let go of something that they've been holding on to, and it is something that has been holding them down or holding them back. So first she calls Leah up. She tells Leah, she's like, whatever has been holding you down, just scream it, yell it. So Leah, she yells trust. After she yells trust, the life coach asks her to kind of dive into it a little bit more. Like, what do you mean? And Leah tells her that she's guarded. She puts walls up, and the life coach asks her why. You know, what do you think has led to this? And she said, so many people giving up on me, betraying me. Now I have trust issues, and I put walls up so I can't get hurt again. So she tells Leah that that's going to be something that they work on. Next, she calls up Amber. Amber yells out, F men. So the life coach is like, what you mean? And she's like, well, I'm tired of every man that I date using me. That since I've started, you know, on Teen Mom, every man that I date, they're here for the money, and they've taken everything from me. Like, in Amber's mind, I really feel like Amber thinks, well, Gary took Leah, Matt took a lot of money, Andrew's taken her house and her car and her baby. I really feel like that's how her mind works, that she doesn't really understand that she's probably taken things from them as well, or affected them as well. But the life coach tells Amber that that's things that they're going to work on. She then calls up Briana. Everyone else was like kind of nervous walking up. They're all like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do this. Briana, when they call her up, she's like, I've been waiting because I got some stuff to get off my chest. She even does a little shimmy as she walks up. She's like, hey, I'm coming. So she gets up there and she yells, F the fakeness. Now, when she yells that, Ashley's like, okay, all right, yep, F the fakeness. So the life coach is like, so, you know, why did you say that? She's like, I just feel like there's people here that's fake. And she's like, so who? The life coach is like, well, who is it then? Tell us who it is. And Ashley, she's directly like behind Briana. Ashley says, yeah, air it out. Like, you know, who's fake? Air it out. And Briana says, I'm going to have to say Ashley. Ashley is fake. And the life coach asks her, like, what does she mean? And she says, well, I just feel like the stuff that Ashley has said online about me, and how online she wanted to beat me up, but now she's here and she's acting like there's no problem. She's been nice, she's talked, she's acted like everything is fine, but yet just a few months ago, she wanted to beat me up. So I just feel like that's fake. So Ashley's like, you're right. Like, I said a lot of stuff online that I shouldn't have said. I should have kept my mouth shut. She's like, you know how things online, how they just get blown out of proportion anyways. I should have not said anything, and for that I am sorry. So she says sorry, and Bree acknowledges it. Bree acknowledges that Ashley said sorry, and she accepts it. She's like, well, thank you, I accept your apology. Ashley tells Briana that she is big enough to apologize. Like, she is smart enough to realize when she made a mistake, and she is big enough to apologize for things that she shouldn't have done. So they kind of seem to be like working it out. Jade, though, says in the confessional, she's like, nope, fake, don't buy it, I don't believe it. I feel like Ashley is still being fake. So back over to the scene, though, Briana and Ashley, they're talking, and then Jade steps up and she says that she feels like she's being fake as well. She's like, I see you here being all cordial, but it's just not who you were a couple weeks ago. You have bullied me online so bad, but now you're here and you're acting like everything's fine. And Ashley's like, yeah, you're right. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, I get what you're saying, Jade, and it's true, but I'm sorry. Like, I shouldn't have did it, and I'm saying that, and I apologize. And Jade is just like, she's just like, but no, you attacked me, you bullied me, you went after my body. And this was just a few weeks ago. And Ashley's like, what? Just a few weeks ago? Ashley's like, I ain't said nothing in a while. What do you mean just a few weeks ago? Well, what Jade is talking about is Jade put up this video of her like twerking, and Ashley like retweeted it or something and was like, girl, I can show you how to do it, or girl, let me teach you how it's done, something like that. But Jade said, she was like, what were you doing? Were you like attacking my body or something like that? And Ashley's like, no, I was not attacking your body at all. And that's not what I took it as either. I actually saw that when it happened. And I personally was like, I thought Jade did well with her, the way she twerked. I thought it was good. I was like, oh, she did pretty good. She can actually twerk pretty good. And then I seen where Ashley like retweeted it and was like, girl, let me show you how to do it. Or girl, let me teach you how to do it. And I was like, why did she say that? Is she being like a smart butt? Do they get along now? Like, what's the deal? So I do kind of feel like that was like a shot at Jade. But Ashley's like, it had nothing to do with your body. But yes, I said something I shouldn't have said. I apologize. Ashley is really trying to just stay on this like mature, classy level. You're right. I messed up. I'm sorry. But you can tell at times she's like, at one point she looks over to Cheyenne and she's like, I'm staying calm. But you could tell that it's hard for her because this whole time, like Jade is just like, but you did this, you bullied me, and you did that, and you did that. And she's like, I'm trying to say I'm sorry, but you just keep on, right? At one point, Jade says, you know, the whole world bullies us. So why did you have to? Why did you have to say anything about me at all? Like, why not just come to me? And Ashley tells her, she's like, you're right, I should have. But like the little girl that's inside of me that's dealt with trauma, at that point, when Ashley starts saying, like, you're right, I should have, I didn't know how though, because the little girl that's still inside of me that's dealt with trauma, when she says that, Jade starts screaming at her and was like, we all have crap, we all have trauma, that's not an excuse. You should have came to me. At this point, like the security has to like grab Jade because Jade is just trying to like get at Ashley. And Ashley's like, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how to just come to you and talk to you. Like, I didn't know how. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, I messed up. I should have. I didn't know how. Jade is steadily like screaming at her. Cheyenne steps in and she pulls Ashley to the side and she's like, listen, I got to give you, you know, your props because you apologized and that's all you can do. Like, you did what you should have done and you apologized. Ash tells Cheyenne, she's like, listen, I'm trying to say that I'm sorry, but if they don't want to go that route, then I can beat her up. You know, she's like, I'm trying to stay classy. I'm trying to not have drama. I've said that I'm sorry, but if that's not the route that they want to go, I'll just beat them up and that'll be fine. And Cheyenne and Leah, they're like, no, you did great. Like, you took accountability. You apologized. That's all you could have done. And then Cheyenne asked, she was like, did they apologize or did they take accountability at all? And Ashley was like, no, they didn't. I did. I said, I'm sorry. I took accountability, but they didn't at all. And Cheyenne was like, well, why? Like, why can't they take some accountability as well? And Ashley said, they want me to be the villain, but that's fine. I'll be the villain. She's like, they either need to accept my apology, because if not, things are going to get bad. She's like, if I open my mouth, I'm going to hurt their feelings. She's like, that's why I just need to lean back, sip my Chardonnay, and they just need to accept the apology, because if they don't, things are about to get bad. The life coach then walks over to where Ashley and Cheyenne and Macy and Leah, they're all sitting, and she brings Briana and Jade over there. And she tells them, she's like, listen, Briana, kudos for airing out your issue. She's like, listen, Ashley, kudos to you for accepting responsibility, for taking accountability, and for apologizing. You both did the right thing. She's like, we're not going to fix this overnight. It's going to take some time, but you guys both did what you should have done. Like, that was the point of the exercise, and I feel like we're on the right track. Jade then says, she's like, I wasn't going to come here if I couldn't be honest. So I had to be honest and say that I felt like Ashley was being fake. At that point, Ashley's like, I'm done. So she turns around and she's like, well, let me be honest. Let me get something off my chest. You guys are fake as... And at that point, Jade, she jumps right back up. The guards have to grab her again. And she's like, F you. She's like, you're the fakest I know. And Ashley stands up, bends over, and starts twerking. And she's like, if you want it, come get it then. If you want it, come get it then. And she's just taunting Jade at this point, because Jade is like so mad. Jade is yelling. She's like, I'm going to beat your ass. Come on, come fight me then. And Ashley's just twerking. And she's like, if you want it, come get it. And Leah starts smacking her on the butt. And Cheyenne, she just dies out laughing. She's like, I've never seen someone twerk as they're like taunting someone, as they're trying to fight someone. Like, I've never seen this happen. This is crazy. And that's the end of the episode, you guys. So it was pretty wild. This first episode was pretty wild, and from my understanding, it's going to get a little bit more wilder, because we know that Cheyenne and Farrah, they almost stopped fighting. And in the next episode, I think Jade and Briana, they're going to actually sit down and talk to Ashley and try to work the problems out. I think they end up getting it worked out eventually, without, you know, anyone swinging any fist or anything. But we do know that things got physical between Farrah and Cheyenne. One cast member threw a drink, which hit another cast member, supposedly. People were flipping furniture over and everything. So that's what's going to be coming up in the next, I don't know if it's the next episode, but later on in the episodes. So I don't know, you guys. You know, they're trying to revamp Teen Mom because they're not pulling in the views. And I think this is a good job. Like, I really think it caught my attention. I'm interested. I'm going to be watching it. Also, the Teen Mom Girls Night In, where they do like the pillow talk type situation, where cast members are watching the other cast member's season and they're commenting on it. I watched that this morning as well. Really love it. Think it's a great idea. So I think they actually have found something that's going to work. And maybe they can kind of bring Teen Mom back, but in a way that's better. Because at this point, everybody is tired of what we've been watching for the past few years, right? We want to see something different. So I'm interested, you guys. Are you guys interested? If you didn't watch it, do you plan on watching it now? And if you did watch it, what do you guys think? And leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you guys think about the episode? Also, I'm really team Ashley on this one. Like, while she ended up kind of losing it herself, I feel like she really tried, but I feel like Briana kind of went there to be messy. Like, she knew she was going to be messy. And then you guys know that, like, Roxanne, like, flipped out on social media the night that this all happened. Roxanne was like, they brought my girls in there. My girls didn't start it. Other girls in the house started it. And I'm like, no, actually, I think your girl may have started it. Like, I think that Ashley was trying her best. I think your daughter started it. So I wonder what Roxanne thinks now, actually getting to watch it back and seeing that Ashley literally tried. Like, Ashley apologized. She tried. And she did the best that she could. You guys, let me know your thoughts on the episode. Whose side are you on in the first episode? Were you guys team Ashley or were you guys team Briana and Jade? Let me know. Give this video a huge thumbs up. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.